$50 for potential locked Abzo. That's actually wild. $50. So I got 1,280 silver and 52 gold. 52 gold for 1 week, though. That's pretty sick. That means after just 2 weeks, I can buy out the 3 magnificent growth pots. It makes sense, though, because there's 30 black flames for 10 each, so that costs 300. So you bought all of these out already. And then the fragments... Ugh, 30 for 10 fragments. That doesn't seem worth it, man. It's like half an hour worth of training for half a week worth of coins. Magpot for strong players only. Well, there's quite some. I mean, I don't want to be like a dick and it will come across, but new people are already getting, for doing absolutely nothing but clicking one button every day, are already getting 2 magnificent growth potions and a transcendent growth potion on like accounts that can barely even use those items. So people who don't need it, I would argue that people who have like a 9.5k account need magnificent growth potions more than people who just have one main and a bunch of level 140s that are building it to the 6k legion. I wouldn't even argue that. I think that's like objectively true. I don't think you should be forcing people to train every single level out of a 260 boss mule that they're making for the 8th time. And I think it's probably a good idea, even with Hyperburn, to let someone make their first 260 at least just with like daily EXP and not like purely magnificent growth potted up. I don't think that's wrong. Bread and butter pushing 250 mules to 260, exactly. Or to 255 first, so you can start libbing, and then to 260 after that, right? Yeah. I think there's a vast gulf in the middle that would gain more that you're leaving out in that comparison. Well, but those are not the only 2 accesses, right? There's more. I believe there's more magnificent growth potions than just these, and the ones in this shop. I thought there were more. There were more in the event, aren't there? Altria transformation potion, mysterious essence pouch. Oh, there was more. This is the one that can get the brilliant dusk essences, right? So if this is not weighted and you can get 50 of these, then on average, I think there were 4 items. Why doesn't it say here what the items are inside? I should on average get you 12 or 13 more brilliants. Not bad. The Boulevard Saddles. This is like, for newer players, this would be really valuable, I think. 5 gold for experienced node stone, or 5 gold for 1 symbol. I'm sorry, but who thought this was good pricing? 10 gold coins for 1 symbol? So if you spend all of your coins that you get from an entire week, you can get half a day worth of symbols from one area. And the max is 20, so you can only get 2 days worth of symbols from the furthest area, and it costs you 4 weeks worth of gold coins. I did a mix of A and S, and you got 14. Well, opening the fragments as well? Yeah, the store prices make no sense. The chairs, okay. Let's grade the items. Okay, let's grade the cost of the items. There's 12 weeks, okay? So if this is the average that I get, and this is like the highest that people can get, then you'll get around 600, what is it, 625 coins. Let's say a bunch of you got more gold coins, but let's say 625 in the entire event. Okay, a chair and a damage skin being 30 of that. So that being like 5% of that, I think that's fine. Initially. Slime, face accessory. I think that's a permanent one, right? After a 10-minute coupon being only 10, that's fine. And then you have to look at what is the limit and how many of these things can you buy if you get that much, right? So let's say that you buy these two things, you're down 60. So you still have around 570 left, 565, 570, around there. If you were to buy all of these out, this would be 200, this would be 200, this would be 400 if you buy these two out. Then you couldn't even buy, this would be 350 each. This would be 500 each. That makes absolutely no sense. These should be 1, these should be 2, and these should be 3 coins. And even then, 3 coins for this would be still pretty pricey, but it would be somewhat reasonable. 5 for experienced Node-Stone. That's a good price. Honestly, that may be a little bit cheap. That could maybe even be higher. Maybe making this 6 or 7 would almost make more sense. The fragments, I think, are a little expensive. Because even if you buy all 10, you get 100, which is not bad, but it's not crazy. And 100 costing 300 coins, being like half of everything that you can make in the whole event, I think is expensive. So I would probably take this down to like 15 to 20, I think. 15 to 20 would be fair. These being 10, but the limit is only 5. That's probably fine, but knowing now that they are most likely weighted towards the lower level one, this might even be a little bit on the expensive side, but this is probably fine. This is 10, and you could buy 30. That goes up to 300, so that would also take half of them away. These seem a bit expensive as well. If you look at other stores, aren't like Karma Flames and EXP Nodestones like around the same value? I think like if this one was 6 or 7, and if these guys were 6 or 7, that would make more sense. These seem a bit expensive, and these seem a bit cheap. The Mapei nodes, I think, are fine because they give pretty big rewards, and you're already going to get them from the box anyway, so you probably don't even need to buy them. So this is only like a desperation extra if you want to buy more on like extra characters, right? So that should come with a premium. I think that's fine. The 17 Star Force scroll for heroic, at least for 30, makes absolutely no sense, especially when you have 2 shining Star Force events coming up. And the remaining within account 1 is just I don't know. This should probably cost like 10 at the most. And maybe have a limit of like 3 per account or something so you can actually use them for something. And these being 30 and limited to 3 is probably fine. Honestly, compared to the scroll, this is cheap. But the scroll is way too expensive. So I think, honestly, if the potions were 50, I would think that would not even be too high. To me, the potions seem cheap. The scroll seems super expensive. The flames seem too expensive. The box is fine. A little bit cheap maybe, but probably fine because it's weighted. Soul Earth Fragment seems too expensive. Maple Nodestone seems fine. Nodestone seems fine to maybe a little bit cheap. These are way too expensive. And these items seem fine to maybe cheap comparing, but they want to probably have more people have access to buying them if they don't get as many gold coins. So these last ones are probably fine as well. Although I think maybe the Ride or Die damage skin... I feel like the Ride or Die damage skin should have maybe been a free reward for the participation together with the Legion piece instead so that everyone could get it, rather than you having to buy it for coins, I would say. Or have it be way cheaper so everyone could buy it if they wanted, like 5 coins or something. Because it's a... well, it's not a unit damage skin. Maybe this is what I'd say. I would say make a unit damage skin of this and put it in the shop for 30, and then put a non-unit and give that one. Oh no, wait, it is unit, but it doesn't say it in the name. Doesn't it always say it in the name and in the icon? It shows up as a unit, but it doesn't have the icon on the damage skin. No, yeah, no, because in my brain I was like, of course it's unit because I could see it, but now I'm thinking about it and now I don't see the icon. I think if they put a non-unit version of it as the free reward together with the Legion piece, that would probably be fine. And then put a unit in here that you can buy to make it even look cooler. But I guess they're just, yeah. And it's action as well? Okay. Okay, yeah, then it's probably fine. Non-KMS content, yeah. Yeah, because it is pretty sick. It is pretty nice. So yeah, that's how I would gauge these items. I mean, and that's based on my coins, of course. So, Derek was saying he did a combination of A and S, and after opening all the boxes, he got 14. Yeah, so then you would have to spend 6 weeks of your coins to buy out all the Magnificent Growth Potions. So that would be half of your coins would be all the Magnificents. But yeah, at that point, you probably don't really need to buy the Black Flames because you're already getting quite a lot of Black Flames from the daily login thing, right? And you wouldn't need, on top of that, that would be kind of a waste. I'd like to have seen the fragments be a little bit cheaper for people. Because of with our drop rate and how many we can get, this one is quite overpriced. And this is actually useful for early game people, but nobody early game can afford it. And only people can afford it. This is peak, like everyone who can afford it doesn't need it, and everyone who needs it can afford it. With this pricing for this item, makes no sense. It's like, wow, you can make a 17-star pitched. A big whoop. Oh, you haven't opened yet? Yeah. Well, I mean, from all of the fragments, so I had 50 fragments, I got 3 gold coins, and some other people got like 5 or 6. So your coins are not going to go up very much compared to how much you already got from the bosses. Although, did I get you got 3? Yeah, there you go. So you had 17. That does bring you closer, right? That brings you to a third rather than a quarter. So over 12 weeks, that is a decent extra. That's like 36 extra. So that's like That's 2.5 weeks extra compared to thinking you got 14 a week. Yeah, 17. But so that's still barely over half of one potion, right? But I mean, I agree that a shop shouldn't be able to be bought out by people like ever. I think it always makes sense to have people make certain choices. But sometimes it's choices, and sometimes, there's no choices. Like when items are just super overpriced, it's not even really a possibility. So yeah, I would probably advise against getting the 10 fragments. Maybe like super early. Again, super early on, you might want to get that to get some boosts, but then you can't afford those super early on. And super late, you'd almost get more value from just more Black Flames. I don't know. I'll probably buy the Soul Earth fragments still, because I am not buying these symbols. These are super overpriced. I'll probably buy a damage skin and a chair, even though I'm not much of a cosmetic player. I'll probably buy these two. I don't think I'll buy these or these. I probably won't buy these because they're weighted and I have so many souls already. So let's see. I buy these, that's 90. I buy these, that's 300. So that's 390. And then these two is 50. 390, 50, so that's, I can still do maths, 440, right? So that'll leave me roughly with like a maximum of 200 gold coins, I think. So then I could buy like 20 of these, so I can almost buy these out, which I think that's fair. That seems fair, but like, if you want to buy these symbols, that basically means you can't afford any of the fragments. But like, what do you rather have, 10 fragments or 6 sacred symbols that give you 20 per day? How does that even compare? If you want to buy 1 day's worth of sacred symbols, you need to spend 100 gold coins. 100 gold coins for one. Yeah, these things are just ridiculous. That would get you 30 fragments and 10 spare. 30 fragments and a Karma Black Flame or 1 day worth of Sacred Symbols. Gee, I wonder what people would choose. If you have to even think about that twice, please. Or the 3 Magnificent Growth Potions and a Black Flame. Compared to 1 day worth of Sacred Symbols for Cernium. Like, these give 20 a day and these give 10 a day, but they have the same price. Huh? If anything, these should be half the cost of that. If anything. But yeah, so I stand by, like, maybe like 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, and then put the Sacred Symbols into the other shop and sell them for silver coins. Honestly. I was going to say, yeah, and then add, but yeah, they can add these. So I have 1280. I guess we could do the same for this shop. So look at the value of these items here. The Damn Skin Extraction coupon is 1 per world, and it's pretty pricey. However, I think it's affordable, and it's a permanent item, so you can keep it forever and use it whenever later in the future. It doesn't expire. So I think that's not too expensive. Damage Skin slot expansion coupons, I don't think you need to care about any of that stuff. The chairs, 500. That seems also very fairly priced for permit chairs and transferable chairs. 50 for a permanent transformation potion is ridiculously cheap. I don't know who priced that. Maybe they mistyped and they meant to say 500 as well. But this might be one of those items that they just want to cost something, but they want everyone to have it. The Mysterious Essence pouches, so these seem like they are not weighted towards the items in there, so these should give a decent return of Brilliant Dusk Essences, and since people are pretty short on Brilliant Dusk Essences, that makes it a valuable item. I don't know about 100, though. If I want to buy these out, for me, this is 4 weeks of running, so that's a third of all of the points I could get just for the Brilliance. This is 100 each, up to a max of 50 as well. So with these two, you're at 5,000 each. Note stones, 70. Oof. Let's see, trade boost potions, those are always ridiculously overpriced. I might actually buy them though. Yeah, flames. Flames is what I would buy out. Flames and droplets. So let's see where those are at. 50. 1 symbol or 1 flame. Nah, you get 20 a day for. You get 120 per day if you just do your symbol dailies. And the flame is worth 10 mil. Eternal Flame is usually worth around 3 powerful flames. So this is a weird value comparison as well. A droplet is worth about 50 mil, right? And these you can buy for what, 9 mil? So why is it a third of the cost when they're a fifth of the NPC value, right? It's really weird. If you have items that you can also just buy for direct money in heroic, you could just compare them 1 to 1, right? Or in this case, 5 to 1. So why did it cost a third? So the Karma Powerful Flame should probably be like 30. And a symbol, I don't know why it's 50. And you have a limit of 300. These should probably be, I don't even know, for silver coins, these should probably be like 5? I don't know. Or like maybe like 15? I'd say 15 for these, 30 for these. That would make internally more sense. These ones are always 300 no matter what the currency is. Mysterious pouches, I don't know why these even exist. I guess there's some, like 2 or 3 items that actually need powders. Honor medals. Wait, these give 1,000. Are there usually like special honor medals that give like 5,000? This seems expensive for a 1,000 honor medal. But this is something that you can buy at the end when you have some points left over and the event is almost over and you know you want to fix invulnerability on a character. Or there are 3 invulnerability events these Sunny Sundays. You know, you wait until during a day, and then you want to maybe fix up an IED, an invulnerability for a character, and you don't have quite enough, then you can go here and just buy some extra to finish it, right? But for a 1K, I think this is too expensive, so I wouldn't advise buying this, honestly. The nodes are probably fair. Like, if I were to buy purely nodes, actually, I could buy 15 nodes with my score. So it costs me 7 weeks. These are probably too expensive. You should probably go down to like... You should probably go down to like 50, but they like the price 70. So yeah. Yeah, if I'm looking at 12 times 1280, so that I'd be at what 15,000? So that this would be half of all of my points if I wanted to buy out 100 nodes. And 100 nodes is good, but 100 nodes is not amazing, insane as it used to be. You get so many nodes now from burning and everything. I feel like the nodes should be, I don't know, maybe like half the price, like 35. I think that would be fair. I'll put them at half the price. Growth potions, yeah, those seem too pricey as well. Probably like 75. These are more endgamey, so this makes sense that they're this pricey. And they're not weighted, right? And people who are going for this probably don't have much of the other things to buy. So if I were to buy out these, that's 8,000. That's already 7 weeks worth of my coins. 7 weeks worth. And I only have 5 weeks left. These I can buy. So let's see if one of these, that's 6,000 more. So that's the other 5 weeks. So if I buy out both of the droplet stacks and the Eternals, then I'm done. Then I can't even buy any chairs or anything. So the droplets are probably not worth it. 150 each is too pricey. There's probably other shops that'd be better. But, you know, if you have nothing else that you want to buy, I'd probably buy the chairs, buy the transformation potion. I don't know about these. I probably will skip these because I have plenty. Probably buy out the Eternals. Honestly, I'm kind of at the point where not sure if I would even buy out the Eternals, because I can also just buy a bunch of red flames. And I have a few things. The things I'm flaming now, I use black flames, or I just use the flames I get from bossing. Nothing with like a lot of pressure on me to flame. But if I was just like a little bit before where I am now, I probably would want to buy out the Eternals and the droplets. So Eternals and droplets would, for me, that would cap me basically. So I'll probably take this off of it. Yeah, these 3 items, I buy these, and then all the Eternals, and then buy as many of the droplets left over that I can. That's probably what I would do. But yeah, if you're early in the game, you probably want to get the nodes, even though they're quite pricey. I wouldn't buy the symbols; these are too expensive. Would advise against that. Wouldn't get the trade boost potion. Just get your charm the old-fashioned way. Just wear your charm items, fuse them, wear them again. I don't think this is worth it either. Charm is not that good, you know. Pocket item is not that insane. You can do without. If you're like more mid-gamey and you don't have any Brilliant Disc essences, I probably would prioritize the Mysterious Essence pouch for those. They seem pricey, but good value to get those bigger potions. Extra EXP, easy. And then yeah, around the flames, I wouldn't get the Karma powerful flames ever. Those are also just too expensive. I would use the ones you get from bosses, or the ones that you can buy from an NPC. Some of these items, you have to remember, of course, just like in the other shop as well, are priced the way they are because of the interactive servers as well, right? And they have the same price there. So some items will just make sense for us and not for them, and vice versa. Like this scroll, I think would be considered slightly more valuable in interactive, but I would be shocked if someone from interactive would say, yeah, that's definitely worth 30 coins for us. That probably would still be way too high for them. And the same way they would look at these 30 coins for the gold frag, and they would just laugh because they could just buy these by the billions in the auction house. Whereas for us, it's also still too expensive. So I would say there's definitely some misses here in terms of things that are way too expensive. But there's also some steals and some items that are very cheap that I would go for. But I would say yeah, that's mainly in the gold coin section here. The silver store, overall seems to make way more sense in terms of the cost and the comparative prices, I would say. But yeah, depending on where you're at in the game, of course, you might like different things and you might have different options. So let me know what you are going to be buying. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.